Good evening. Well, our weather's staying very cold for the moment. We're not going to see any great change until next Tuesday night or early on Wednesday next. So in the meantime, there is a risk of frosty nights and a risk of ice. Now, this current cold spell isn't as severe as the previous one. Nevertheless, there could be some sleet and snow at times, mainly over high ground, though there is a slight risk at lower levels as well, particularly tomorrow morning across northern counties. And again, there's another risk of a system coming up from the south through Thursday night and into Friday. This one could bring sleet and snow, but its track is uncertain at this stage, so we will be keeping an eye on that. In the meantime, though, at the moment we have a fair amount of clouds still across Ireland, pretty gloomy, with mostly rain pushing down here, as we can see there on the radar, though it could turn to sleet in a few places. Now, it corresponds to this weather system here, a cold front, and if we zoom in, you can see it pushing gradually southeastwards across the country as the night goes on, though parts of Munster and South Leinster will see very little, and it will tend to dry out, but there could be icy there behind it. Now, in the morning we have this occlusion pushing down across northern counties, and it'll bring mostly rain and sleet, though there is a risk of snow for a while, particularly in parts of east and central parts of Ulster. But then that will tend to fizzle out during the day, and most places will dry out through the afternoon, but it'll still be quite cold with frost again tomorrow night, and a mainly dry, bright day on Thursday, but it's going to be very chilly with temperatures of around 3 or 4 degrees in many areas. Now, this next system here could pose a problem through parts of the south on Thursday night, and in other areas, if it does head northwards on Friday, it may not. So as I said, we will be keeping an eye on that. In the meantime, though, we've mostly rain pushing gradually southeastwards, with icy conditions following in the north, with temperatures close to freezing, even though there is a fairly brisk southwesterly wind. And then tomorrow morning, a risk of sleet and snow through northern counties, tending to fizzle out during the day, with most areas becoming dry but still quite cold, with highs of 4 to 7 degrees. The brisk southwesterly wind veering northwesterly and easing. That's all from me. Good evening.